Hey, how you guys doing? This is Harvey Jackson. Give you guys a minute to let the alerts come out, tell them I'm live. I hope you guys are having a great morning. And for those that are first time coming on here, we're with Great Commission Evangelist Ministry. Our mission is to help people receive this love, to live this love, and engage our community with this love. And we did a little bit of that yesterday. I'll try to, later on, if you have time, go in and check our Facebook page. And let me put that Facebook page here. You can type in Great Commission Evangelist Ministry or go to Facebook and put this in here, facebook.com/. MA student 281920. So you can go there on Facebook and it'll tell you. So those that don't have Facebook, you can go there to that Facebook page, right there's public page. Click on join or follow if you want to follow it. That'll be great if you want to do that. But you can see our what we're doing, and we fed the homeless yesterday. And when I talk about this, I'm not doing it to say, "Oh, look how great I am." We do this out of love of God because there's people out there that really need something to eat, that really have needs, and they have physical needs, they have spiritual needs, they have emotional needs, mental needs, and I as a person cannot help them with all that, but I know that God can. And we don't even really do a lot of preaching. What we did yesterday is we came and God blessed us. We were able to go and get one of those little tabletop grills. And when the homeless guys sit down there, even had to help us set it up. We set up the grill, screwed it in, got the gas screwed in there, gave us some gloves. He helped me out to do that. And then we struck up the lighter. And we had some pancakes, we had some fruit cups, and some peaches. For those that want to put peaches on their fruit cups, we bought some whipped cream. And I mainly bought the whipped cream so they could put on their pancakes. But you know, those guys, they love having whipped cream in their coffee. And we gave out a lot of coffee with some whipped cream, and they were just loving it. And made sure everybody that showed up had at least 2 pancakes. I think maybe somebody has some extra because I just made like one big batch. And by the time I was done cooking that batch, it took a while to learn how to use that grill. It was my first time doing it. It went pretty good. So, I mean, you know, I was done. I think about 10 o'clock we started wrapping things up. We got there about 8. And 10 we wrapped it up. And those that don't know where we're doing that, it's on 7th and C in Victorville. So if you know anybody that's homeless or if you need some food, and you don't get you're like maybe food deficient or a little bit hungry, you could go to Victorville on 7th and C Street, downtown Victorville, and we will be there next week at 8 o'clock, and we'll have pancakes again until that pancake batter runs out. Okay, so I think I have enough batter for maybe 2 more times, and we are going to be doing that. And so that's what we did yesterday, and it was a great time. My kids did an excellent job. They did a good job serving. They helped give out the little cups that we gave. We bought some fruit cups. They made sure they got the fruit cups, but they had the utensils and everything. And my wife showed up later, and my kids were getting a little bit tired, and she rallied the troops up and said, hey, it's time to clean up. And we got the whole place cleaned up, so we made sure we cleaned up our trash and probably cleaned up some other people's trash that was out there too. Learned some things to do and not to do out there that we need to do better next week, and we'll be working on that. So those are some things that we did yesterday down in Victorville. So if you'd like to be a part of that, and we do need some volunteers to help out. I can use some help with cooking. I can use some help with cleaning up, setting up, tearing down. Also, people that just like to pray for people. And with this ministry is a community ministry, so you don't have to be a member, okay? You don't have to be a member to be a part of this. If you'd like to pray, we hope you at least know Jesus Christ, personal Lord Savior, and help us pray for people. You don't have to be a super spiritual giant to go and pray for people. And we hand them a tract. If somebody does not know Jesus Christ, personal Savior, and I met one that wasn't sure about salvation. We had a chance to talk to her about that. and assure that if she did receive Jesus Christ in her heart, that she will be going to heaven. So that's something that we had a chance to do yesterday. And it was great. It's great. You know what? Lately, we've been just giving coffee and honey buns. And yesterday, we went out and actually cooked a warm meal. And I'll tell you why I did that too. I'm going to talk about, I think this is important, so I'm going to talk a little more about this before I get the message. The reason why I wanted to do a warm meal, number one, I have seen some of my friends do it, but we don't have the resources they have. So I've always wanted to do something like that. But also, I've been there in the wintertime, so I hope we could do this more in the wintertime. In the desert here, it could get as cold as about 15 degrees. I remember walking to the bus from where I live at, and it was 17 degrees outside at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was cold, and I had to sit out and wait for the bus to show up too. The only thing that kept me warm, I was walking to where I had to go. I had a nice jacket. My wife bought me a really nice jacket. But it was 17 degrees. That means the cold with the wind, because it gets windy out in the desert. The wind will go through those gloves too. Now imagine you're downtown, no shelter, and it's 17 degrees. And I've seen it hit that here. A couple times it snowed. And we're in Southern California, but where we're at, it snowed, even right here in the desert. And you're out in the streets, you don't have shelter or very little shelter, maybe just a garbage bag to cover yourself up with. And I remember one time we went out there and it didn't snow that day, but it was cold that morning. I think it was about 30 degrees, 35 degrees that morning. We got out, it got a little bit warmer, maybe about 50 degrees. And one of the guys, I'm not sure we fed him yesterday, but I did see him last week. Because we normally go down 7th Street handing people food, and this time we told him we're going to go to a stationary pace. I met him. He was out in the field. He was holding himself like this, and he was rocking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And my daughter and one of the ladies that was with us was just helping us out with that, and told him to stay in the car because I didn't know if he was high. My friend Joseph, he was with me, he knew the guy was he was just cold. I thought maybe he might be kind of coming down from a high. It was just that cold. Of course, he was happy to get the honey buns and coffee. This particular one likes to ask for extra, so we gave him an extra one. And so that morning we came and met a need. Just a little honey bun and coffee. Can you believe that? Just a little bit of kindness. But it's not what great thing I've done. It's what God does through us. Let me see if I can straighten this out without showing too much here. It's what God does through us. And see, we go out and just give a little packet with the word and things like that. But what happens is that God, the Spirit moves through that. He moves through to touch our heart to go meet them. He touches our heart to go meet the right people on the street. He touches our heart to feed the people that needed to be feeding. And then we put a little track or word in there. And the right person will read that word that needs to hear that word that day, that needs to know that they're saved or needs to get saved. Somebody's going through a need and they feel like they're alone. And we have a chance to pray for them. What burden has God given to you? That's what we have here. What is your burden? What burdens you? Because we're going to talk about the burden of Jeremiah in a second. What burdens you? What do you see that touches your heart when you walk around your city, when you walk through your community, when you drive through the highways and byways of life? What do you see that burdens you? What burdens you that you see on the news? And what has God, if you're a Christian, if you have Jesus Christ inside your heart, what has God touched you or been tugging at you to do in your life? What burdens you? What do you think you should be doing? Pray about it and do it. Maybe God has something that He wants you to do in the church. Or maybe you've been feeling that burn to volunteer in the church to help your pastor out. Maybe with Sunday school, maybe with nursery. Maybe you have carpentry skills. What do you think you should be doing? Pray about it and do it. Maybe God has something He wants you to do in the church. Or maybe you've been feeling that burn to volunteer in the church to help your pastor out. maybe with Sunday school, maybe with nursery, maybe have carpentry skills. At our home church, First Baptist Church, this family I've been watching for a long time, the oldest son of this group, I believe he's the oldest, I was surprised he's still in Boy Scouts. I guess he had finished his Eagle Scout badge yet, because he's not in school anymore. But he went and used his skills to get his Eagle Scout to help improve the church. He made some type of structure at the church that the church could really benefit from. And they asked for donations, and some people in the church donated. And he built a structure on the church grounds to help the church structure. Some of you might be in a situation where you're on AFTC or getting food stamps and things. You have to volunteer for a nonprofit organization. Why not volunteer for your church? And use your skills to do those volunteer hours at your church instead of just going down to Goodwill or somewhere else. If you're at a church that's a 501c, you can volunteer there. And God could use that. Maybe you're a business person. You're good at raising money or managing finances. And the church might need a treasurer, might need a counter or something like that. Or maybe they need somebody that's good at fundraising to help with some other projects. Maybe you know how to do grant writing and things. And you can use the skill they have in the secular world and put it at the church. Maybe you have musical abilities. And I tell you right here, we need some musicians. We need some guitarists and pianos and things like that. Maybe you have something that you can contribute to the work. And of course, here at Great Commission Evangelist Ministry, we'd love to talk to you. I think I put my email address up there. Let me put that on there. Great Commission 1920 at gmail.com. Okay. And those that just come in, say hi. And also, we're talking about what burdens you today. And I'm talking about how God allowed us to work with the homeless and things like that. But you can email me if you want to help us out, what we're doing. But whatever gift or ability you have that God might be telling you, go do it. Don't just sit on it. Don't just think about it. Go do it. Talk to your pastor. Talk to a friend that's in the church. If you're not come to a pastor, so we'll do something and start volunteering for those things. Sometimes they just need somebody, don't even ask permission, to go out and pick up paper around the property, to bring a bucket full of Windex and stuff. And on your own, because some small churches don't have the staff, clean those bathrooms. Go early when the pastor opens the door and clean those bathrooms for the church. Or get permission to go and wipe down the pews or the chairs before church starts, so everybody has a clean and sanitary place to go to and relax at. Or help paint or organize the children's rooms and things like that. Whatever thing God's get to, whatever burden God's get to, do it.